Hello, everybody. Welcome to this very special episode of the Treat Your Business podcast. For anybody that is new to following us, this is going to feel like a bit of a random podcast today and a random episode. For anybody watching live on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube, I am here to celebrate the official launch of my new book. Really believe I'm saying that actually, that I am now an author. But my book yesterday, Thriving, launched officially on Amazon, which is very exciting. You can access it in Kindle format, you can access it in paperback format, you can access it as an audiobook. Very exciting. And so if you're listening to this for the very first time, this will make really no sense to you whatsoever, but I encourage you to listen in to get the book, because why would you not? But also go back to some of the previous episodes where there is so much value and tips and masterclasses and great advice in there, first of all, which will then make everything else make more sense. But for everybody else, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. And hopefully you got yourselves on the priority list. So you got access to the book at 50% off yesterday. And you're going to be part of our Book in Action workshop, where I'm going to be bringing the book to life and helping you implement the amazing things that we've talked about within the book. This book has been a labor of love. It's been a reflection of over a decade of lessons, challenges, and wins from building my own clinic and helping other clinic owners do the same. And today's episode, I'm going to take you behind the scenes of writing the book a little bit, the ups and the downs and moments of inspiration. We'll talk about the challenges that I faced during the process, the biggest lessons I've learned while bringing this book to life, and what I hope you'll gain from reading the book, because that's really why I've written it. I want to be on your coffee table. I want to be on your bookshelf. I want to be somebody that you grab this book and recommend it to a friend who's also a clinic owner, because there is so much in there that they can take from and implement within their clinic. And I'm going to share some of my favourite sections in the book. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive in. Welcome to the Treat Your Business podcast with Katie Bell. I am Katie, and this is the place to learn the strategies, tactics, tools, and mindset needed to build your clinic or studio into a business that gives you the time, money, energy, and fulfillment you want and deserve. My team and I work every day with overwhelmed and exhausted clinic owners like you to shift them from a business that is a huge time and energy drain and is not giving them the income they want, to confident clinic owners that are making money, saving money, and getting time back in their lives. So if this sounds like something you want, let's dive in. This podcast is sponsored by HMDG, the leading digital marketing agency for clinic owners in the UK. So let's start with why I wrote this book. Well, when I opened my clinic at 28, I had a vision of I wanted to help people move better. I wanted to help people feel better, and I wanted them to live better. But as my business grew, I realized that running a clinic isn't just about delivering great care. It's not just about being a great physio. It's about building a really sustainable business that serves not only your clients, but your team and yourself. And I had to learn this the hard way. In those early years, I made every mistake that you can imagine. I hired too quickly. I fired too slowly. I didn't have clear processes in place. I was trying to do everything. I was a control freak. I was a people pleaser. You name it, I was it. And often found myself, no, not often, I was completely burnt out in the early years. And I was wondering, I now just feel like I'm employed again. I have a job again, working for myself. And over time, I discovered what worked and what didn't work. And I literally threw myself into understanding what it takes to run successful clinics. And it's very much like growing a tree. You've got to have those strong roots in place. And most clinic owners try and do without this for many years. You need a solid trunk. Again, many clinic owners try and cut this bit out. And that will then ultimately give you the thriving branches: team, operations, systems, sales, marketing. And so thriving is the result of this journey. And it's my way of giving back to clinic owners like you who might be feeling overwhelmed, but no, who will be feeling overwhelmed, who will feel stuck, who will feel unsure of what steps they should take next. And this book isn't just a guide. It's literally a toolkit. It's packed with lessons, it's packed with strategies, practical tips that I wish I'd had all those years ago. Writing Thriving was a journey in itself, and it wasn't without its challenges, because I started outlining the book during probably one of the busiest seasons in my business. Because I think everything can be done in a minute and yesterday, I agreed and I signed the book deal in end of May. So it's not actually that long to say by January I have written and launched a book. But I knew also that I was going into a phenomenally busy period in KB. I was celebrating 10 years in the clinic, got lots of new staff coming on board. My operations manager was on mat leave. I was back in the business more than I'd ever been. And Thrive was thriving. We'd got Clinic Growth Live happening that year. There was a lot of stuff going on. But obviously, because I'm me, I decided to sign a book deal, and I was given 16 weeks to write. And after 8 weeks, I spoke to my publisher. We decided when this needed to launch. We worked backwards from the dates, thrown Christmas in there, which is really fucking inconvenient from a publishing point of view. And they then reduced my timeline to 11 weeks. So I spent a lot of the summer getting up extremely early in the morning, sitting in the garden with my hoodie on and writing. You outline the book. I knew what I wanted to put in there, and it obviously could have been an encyclopedia. So it has to be just the right layer for you to want to delve more into things and want to discover more about those certain topics. But there is enough in there that means you can actually take that inspired action straight away. So here we are, a day after launch date, and finding time to write was impossible at times, but I knew this book needed to happen for you guys. One of the hardest parts was narrowing down the content. I've learned so much about running clinics, from marketing to leadership to financial stuff, but I had to focus on what was going to make the biggest impact for you. And that's how I landed on the concept of the clinic success tree, because everything comes back to the foundation, the roots and the trunk. Another challenge I faced was my own self-doubt, because I kept asking myself, oh my God, is this going to be good enough? Are people even going to want to read this? Like, who am I to write a book? Will people resonate with this? But every time I felt stuck, I had a call with you guys, or I was in a Q&A question with a Q&A session in Thrive, or was delivering at a big strategy day. And I thought about the clinic owners that we work with, the ones who are juggling so much and just need some clarity and direction. And that's what kept me going. So I had lots of incredible moments of inspiration. A lot of you who are listening to this inspired lots of the book. And I want you to know that everything that I have written in that book is also what we implement within our clinic, and we implement in a lot of other people's clinics as well. So this is tried and tested. This is not just a book that may work for you. It will. Writing this book wasn't about just sharing lessons. It was about learning them again for myself. And this was really powerful, because you can get so busy in your own world of running two very successful businesses that sometimes you forget stuff. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm teaching them this. Why have I forgotten about this? So I want to be really honest with yourself that, like, whether you're a multiple six-figure clinic owner or whether you're just starting out, this book is going to resonate with some of you, with all of you, in different ways. And these are some of the things that I picked up, was that perfection is the enemy of progress. And I realized that if I waited for the perfect time to write this book, it was probably never going to happen. It certainly wasn't going to happen in 2024. The same goes for running your clinic. There's never a perfect time to start doing this, implementing, changing things, growing your team. You've just got to take the first step. The power of reflection. Writing forced me to reflect on my own journey. It forced me to realize how far I've come. And sometimes as business owners, no, not sometimes, most of the time, we're so focused on the next thing that we forget to celebrate our progress. And then number 3, it was all about the impact. So at the end of the day, this book isn't about me. It's about you. It's helping our industry build businesses that serve them, their clients and their communities. And that is why we and I exist. Let me share a little sneak peek into some of my favorite parts of the book. The chapter on core values, I deep dive into how to define your clinic's values and use them to shape your decisions. I share examples from my own clinic and within Thrive, and really get you to see that these are the key fundamentals that your clinic needs before we can move on to the other elements. The tree analogy runs throughout the book. This is a really easy way for people to connect and understand why I'm teaching things in the order that I'm teaching them. And I go through each element of the tree: the roots, the trunk, the branches, and the fruits. I love the bit about subscription models. One of the most practical chapters is about creating reoccurring revenue streams. I talk about how this model's transformed my clinic's cash flow, given me more predictability in my business, and the real life stories. And when we ran Clinic Growth Live last year, this was one of the most powerful parts of the day, when we had 4 individuals that came on stage at various points in the day, and they shared their struggles, their challenges, and then their wins, the things that they've done to transform their business from a startup to a multi 6-figure, from a low 6-figure to a high 6-figure business. And these people who I've brought into the book have faced challenges like staff turnover. They've faced challenges in terms of finance. They've had the burnout, and they've come out stronger. And I hope that these real life stories also inspire you and make you realize that you're no different to them. And if they can do it, you can do it too. So writing this book has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my career. It has been quite the learning curve for me, and I'm so excited to be able to finally share it with you. And I hope that this book becomes a resource for you to turn to time and time again, and just give you that prompt or that moment that you can go back to things and think, what am I missing here? What have I forgotten? Or what have I overlooked? So whether you're just starting out in your clinic or looking to take it to the next level, then get the book, read the book. It's not big, it's not long. It's there. It's designed specifically for you to be able to consume in your very busy life and your very busy clinics. So I hope that you enjoy it. The book is here on the screen. You can see what it looks like when you go on to Amazon to find it. It's available in audio version, paperback, and Kindle version. And please download it. Please consume it. Please share it with everybody and anybody, because this will make a huge impact to our industry. And one of my biggest passions is to up-level our industry in terms of self-confidence, self-worth, self-value, self-belief. We need to be playing a much bigger game. So until next time, keep thriving, enjoy the book over a cup of tea, or even better, over a gin and tonic or a glass of champagne, and tell me how you found it. Send me your feedback. Tag me in your social media post reading your book. It would mean the world to me to know that those 11 weeks of writing in my garden at 4 a.m. were worth it.